It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. My name is Caleb Kuda.
And I am Hawa Idrisu Mustafa.
Coming up, former First Lady Theresa Kufuor to be laid to rest later today as thousands of mourners gather at the forecourt of the State House to pay their last respects.
She and I embarked on many trips together as I pursued my political career and after I became president. However, what touched her most during our international trips was the recognition she received from Pope Benedict XVI, who bestowed on her the prestigious Papal Award of Dame of St. Gregory the Great.
Also coming up, the Northern Regional Office of the FDA investigates a suspected food poisoning case leading to the death of a junior high school student in Tamale.
And unfortunately, many of the sellers out there, they don't even know when the products are expiring, all right? So I'll entreat everybody to be watchful what their children consume.
Still ahead, National Chairman of the Opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, blames excessive monetization of politics in Ghana for the increasing attrition rate in Parliament. And later, Citi FM, Citi TV's continuous campaign to bring relief to persons affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage sees a team visit Mankango in the Savannah region. This news is also live on all our partner stations across the country. In the Western region, this is Premier 100.5 FM in Takoradi, Beach 105.5 FM. Also in Takoradi in the Bunu region, we are live on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyane in the Ashanti region. This is Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi in the Volta region. Hello to you on Holy 98.5 FM in Aplao in the Northern region. This is Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi in the Upper East region. We are live on Word 88.3 FM in Zuarungu and in the Upper West region. This is Bugli Radio 88.6 FM in Wa. Around the globe, we are live on citinewsroom.com and we are also live on CityTube on YouTube.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for choosing us. Now, thousands of mourners this morning gathered at the State House in Accra to bid late former First Lady Theresa Kufuor a final farewell at a state-organized funeral. The former First Lady, who died on Sunday, October 1, 2023, has been described by many as one who lived with modesty and influenced many lives, especially in issues relating to women and children. Former President John Agyekum Kufuor, in a tribute read on his behalf, said the death of his wife has brought an unbridgeable void in his life.
Abba and I shared a gleeful sense of humor, which meant we could laugh at each other, just as we could naturally forgive each other for our unfailing human shortcomings. She and I embarked on many trips together as I pursued my political career and after I became president. However, what touched her most during our international trips was the recognition she received from Pope Benedict XVI, who bestowed on her the prestigious Papal Award of Dame of St. Gregory the Great. Throughout her life, she remained a devout Catholic, a passionate worshipper, and a chorister of Christ the King Catholic Church in Accra. Abba, your departure has left an unbridgeable void in my life. But I take solace from the many mercies and blessings the good Lord has showered on our journey of 62 years. Living long, a blessing of beautiful children, 14 splendid grandchildren, the honor of having served our nation together, the gift of loving, extended families, and a network of friends around the world. I am so thankful to the good Lord God for giving you to me as my life partner. Abba, you have earned your good rest, and as the words of the Apostle Paul go, you have fought the good fight. You have finished the race. You have kept the faith. Now there is in store for you the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to you on that day, and not only to you, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. Fare thee well, Abba. Adieu, my dearest love.
That was a tribute read on behalf of former President John Ajikum Kufuor, now the Auxiliary Bishop of the Diocese of Accra, Most Reverend Anthony Na Asari, who led the burial service, urged Ghanaians to continue to uphold Theresa Kufuor's legacy.
When death robs us of someone dear, we feel the pain for a long time. During her private life and as First Lady, Mrs. Theresa Kufuor demonstrated so well that it is possible to be powerful yet tender, formidable yet loving. She placed a high premium on motherhood at the highest office. She did not learn it at that level. These are virtues she had acquired and exercised well at home and during her public life before becoming First Lady. She understood the beauty of life as she welcomed many children to the world through her professional practice, and later helped preserve life by helping children achieve their full potential through her Mother and Child Community Development Foundation. Our mother's exemplary life is described variously in the brochure. Her beloved husband intimated that she was soft-spoken, well-mannered lady with a very confident personality that fitted easily wherever she found herself. The children spoke of her as loving and straight, bundle of energy, musical and a dancer and strong-willed, prayerful, praying about anything and everything, gentle, loving, calm, and controlled, compassionate, and a disciplinarian. Was a perfect mother. Mom was a gift as a mother. Mom was my first love. In fact, in summary, the children say, Mom was a mom.
Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Accra, Most Reverend Anthony Na Asari, may her soul rest in peace.
The Northern Regional Directorate of the Food and Drugs Authority is conducting investigations into a suspected food poisoning incident at Ambaria Junior High School. The incident resulted in the death of one student, with others critically ill and receiving treatment at the Tamale Central Hospital. The cause is linked to the consumption of a beverage called Jingo Herbal Drink. The deceased, 13-year-old Maimunatu Razak, has been laid to rest according to Islamic customs. The father of the deceased, Muhammad Salif, has called on school authorities to ensure that all food and drinks on the premises adhere to safety standards. The chairman of the Ambaria Education Committee, Abdullahi Salif, confirmed the situation but emphasized that the school does not provide food for students. He urged parents to pack meals for their children instead of allowing them purchase food outside.
It's like pulling teeth when you're dealing with children. You see, we have gates, we lock them, but children can be so sneaky. Some would even scale the walls to go out. It's not encouraged, but they do it anyways. But we're trying our best. In the past, we had gate men who stood there. One grew old and difficult. Unfortunately, the second person passed on. And indeed, these days, it's not that easy engaging staff. But we're doing the best we can to contain the situation. We used to have people who cooked in here. But some of the students were complaining about the quality and all that. So we stopped them. We encourage parents to give small snack boxes for their children to come along with when they come into school. That is the best bet. The break periods are not even supposed to be, they are not lengthy. It's just to give them a short respite, go relieve themselves, take a bite, and come back in. This sugar water is not even good for the children, their body. So if you want your child to eat, let them eat things that would have real nutritional value. Give them fruits. Give them your locally prepared, home-prepared sobolobo or zumkom or whatever. Those ones are healthier than most of these things that get imported here. And unfortunately, many of the sellers out there, they don't even know when the products are expiring, all right? So I'll entreat everybody to be watchful what their children consume.
That was the chairman of the Ambaria Education Committee, Abdullahi Salifu.
The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, has announced that the property rate reform project established by the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, to collect property tax has encountered challenges. The project is aimed at creating a common platform for billing, collecting and reporting property rates nationwide. During the presentation of the 2024 budget in Parliament, Mr. Ofori-Atta revealed that government is exploring alternative options for collecting property taxes due to the difficulties faced by the current system.
Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance, acting through the Ghana Revenue Authority, as per Section 4 of the Ghana Revenue Authority Act 2009, introduced the Property Rate Reform Project. The objective was to develop a unified common platform capable of billing, collecting, and reporting property rates nationwide. Mr. Speaker, the initiative has encountered some challenges that's making it difficult for the relevant bodies, including the Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Assemblies, to have access to their share of the property rate collection on time. Mr. Speaker, to address these challenges, government is reviewing the overall structures and processes to determine the optimal way forward. In the interim, districts will resume collection as these challenges are resolved.
Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, now a Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Dr. Stephen Amoah, has explained that government's decision to implement a zero-rate VAT on locally produced sanitary pads is to improve production of locally manufactured sanitary pads. This decision by government has been welcomed by civil society organizations who called for the scrapping of taxes on sanitary pads, although they have further called for the same intervention on imported sanitary pads. Speaking on Eyewitness News, Dr. Stephen Amoah said the move will give a competitive advantage to local manufacturers of sanitary pads.
We as a government are taking steps to encourage local production of sanitary pads so that incrementally we can probably get to the point that probably one day we'll say that we're not even going to import. It is one thing. But the other thing that the government has to look at critically, especially those who have direct role in managing our taxes, is leakages. Because there are goods in Ghana here being produced. However, those that we import, even retail prices are higher than the direct production cost or prices of the manufacturers. Not solely because of other production items, but because of tax evasion. So as much as we are even trying to provide conducive environment, enabling environment for them to produce a lot of sanitary pads and other things that will meet the utility expectations of the people. We should also look at other areas that will not give the importers even an advantage over them in terms of cost of production, because most of them, in my opinion, also evade taxes. So we cannot meet demand today. However, we are helping and encouraging them to upscale their production of performances and go at a speed that at a point in time, we may not have to even import at all.
What do you feel about this?
I think it's a great news because sanitary pads was really expensive, and we are hoping that from next year, the prices will come down, especially those that are manufactured locally.
Okay. We look forward to that. Still with Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Dr. Stephen Amoah, because he says the tax reliefs introduced in the 2024 budget should have been streamlined because there are too many. According to him, the most practical and efficient way to improve on our economic situation is to introduce more taxes to improve on our internally generated funds rather than borrowing. Rebuffing claims by the minority on hidden taxes in the budget, Dr. Stephen Amoah said government placed a human face to the budget to lessen the burden on Ghanaians.
Honestly, going through, I've gotten to where we have the tax relief, and I was thinking even there were too many, because tax policy management is calibrated in nature. And for that matter, you don't wake up and say, I'm increasing taxes or I'm actually reducing taxes. It has to be done depending on the situation of your fiscal policy, whether it is so much disturbed that you have to consolidate it. And that is the situation which we find ourselves in today. But before the budget, our brothers, in collaboration with other relevant stakeholders, were actually putting out outcry. I mean, compelling the government and threatening the government not to increase taxes and that there's cash. Honestly speaking, it is even a strategic drift not to even increase taxes at this time. But of course, for humanitarian reasons or human faces, the finance minister and the government tried hard to listen to Ghanaians, not to burden them with any additional taxes, which rather should have been the right decision for now, for us to actually work on our fiscal space and put this country's economy on a very sound footing and move it forward and continue the restoration processes and the consolidation so that we can really get back on track properly and move on.
Dr. Stephen Amwa is Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry.
Still on reactions to the budget, the minority in Parliament has expressed doubt about the government's ability to complete the General Hospital, despite the Finance Minister's announcement that the contractor would return to the site next week. The Minority Chief Whip, Gavin Kwame Agboja, cast doubt on the government's capacity to fully fund the project for its completion. This comes after Health Minister Kweku Ajumanmenu assured that the government had secured 50 million euros locally to finance the reconstruction of the General Hospital.
I am extremely angry that the finance minister did not say anything about the suspension of the construction of the BOG headquarters and sending that money to LA. Now that they are claiming the General Hospital will now be only 50 million euros, we could have taken part of the $250 million money for the Bank of Ghana headquarters to go and complete that. Is the finance minister telling me that to choose between the healthcare of La people, now he's saying that project is under GOG. Everybody knows when they say a project is under GOG, it's on life support. Because they will try and say, and I can predict, they will find some money for the contractor between today and Tuesday and compel him to go to the site. As of when he gets paid, again, is another matter. I don't see government having 50 million euros easily to complete that project. So the budget is very lacking on the substance. What are you going to do to curtail corruption? Not much said about corruption. What are you going to do to reduce government expenditure? The size of government, another thing, we can't see anything about that. What are you going to do to pay contractors so that they can go to site and pay, their staff? There's nothing much about that. There's nothing about the over-bloated size of government and other things. So I think that the finance minister could have done better.
Gavin Kwame Agboja is Minority Chief Whip. The General Agricultural Workers Union, GAU, has taken on government for failing to highlight in the 2024 budget how it made use of the 110 acres of land acquired for agricultural production. This comes after government announced in yesterday's budget that it is securing and developing land for large-scale agricultural investment. The finance minister in his statement said the focus on large-scale commercial agriculture is to promote the adoption of technology for efficiency and standardization, as well as support price stabilization efforts. But reacting to this in a Citi News interview, the General Secretary of GAU, Edward Kariwes, said government must always prioritize implementing its strategies and policies.
Ghana is under strict IMF program and conditionalities. So one could not have been expecting a budget that will be people-centered, a budget that will be a lot of release to different sections of the economy, because with IMF, the presence of the country, you do not have the opportunity again to decide and respond to the needs of your people. Of 110,000 acres of land was going to be acquired for agricultural production, and one in the Afran Plains, about Bono East, and then one of these newly created regions. I think the budget should be answering and telling us what they have done with the last year's provisions. So the mere fact that the budget is talking about, we are going to acquire this, are they telling us how they are going to get the money to do that? If you have ideas and you don't act on the ideas for them to materialize.
Edward Kariwa is General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union.
From GAU, let's go to GMA. The Ghana Medical Association, GMA, has welcomed the proposed meeting with the government regarding their demand for a tax rebate on imported vehicles for doctors in the country. During the 2024 budget reading in Parliament, the Finance Minister announced that the government would engage with members of the GMA to discuss their call for tax waivers on vehicles imported into the country to ease the transportation burden of doctors. The General Secretary of the Association, Dr. Richard Salome, expressed hope that their demands would soon be met.
The Ghana Medical Association welcomes the development and is happy that at least after 7 years of having captured this in the manifesto of the current government, it has found expression in the budget, and we are ready and willing to engage to ensure that this is done. As we mentioned, this is an important intervention, especially for our junior colleagues who are those who are first responders to emergency calls and have to respond early to emergencies across the country in different places, and many are not housed on the premises of hospitals. And that means that when they are called, they have to look for public means, which sometimes delay the time they get to hospitals. And so it's very important for us that this is reinstated. And we welcome the fact that it has been captured in the budget and government is willing to meet us to get this done as soon as possible. We are engaging behind the scenes and we expect government to call us as soon as possible. We believe that the earlier this is done, the better. And then it also helps to get things rolling. Of course, if we are not hearing from government, we will call and also see how we can facilitate the process. But as I said, some engagements are already begun behind the scenes. And we hope that this gets to fruition as soon as possible.
General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Richard Salome.
The national chairman of the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, Johnson Esiedu Nketi, has blamed excessive monetization of politics in Ghana for the increase in attrition rates in parliament and the attendant dwindling quality of the legislative arm. According to the national chairman, there has been a shift in focus from a quest to serve the nation through formulation of laws to using privileges of being parliamentarians to recoup investment on campaigns or advancing business interests.
There was an Englishman who came to do some research in Parliament, comparing the three parliaments. I mean, the first Parliament, second Parliament, and third Parliament. And the conclusion was that the most productive among the three parliaments was the second Parliament. You remember the MPP did not participate in the first Parliament.
Yeah.
So the second Parliament was the most productive. Surprisingly, followed by the first Parliament where MPP was not there. And then the weakest among the three was the third Parliament. And to keen observers, even the quality of representation from the third Parliament to date has been on the decline. And I believe that one of the key causes has been the over-monetization of our politics. Because in the past, people went to Parliament out of the desire to serve the nation. Now it is increasingly becoming clear that there are many people who go to Parliament as a form of investment. The truth of the matter is that whenever anybody spends 4 terms, 5 terms, the amount of his total emolument for the 4-year tenure, and yet he spends that money to go to Parliament. Where is he going to get the balance from? It means that he's just using.
Mr. Isiedun Ketia also outlined the strategy the party deployed to keep good MPs in Parliament in the past and explained how that strategy is no longer in operation.
We have a way of doing that assessment for our internal guidance. You know, during President Rawlings' term, from 92 to 2000, we hardly held parliamentary primaries. What we did was that as the MP is performing, there is assessment by the leadership of Parliament about his performance. Then there is another assessment by party headquarters. And there's another assessment at constituency level. Because you have to do this assessment in these three areas. Otherwise, if you focus on the noise the MP makes in Parliament, the research he does in Parliament and the input he makes in Parliament, how he impacts legislation and so on, you may make a wrong judgment as to how effectively he's representing his people. So we combine these three things, and then we are able to group the MPs into three categories. Category number one are first-class MPs. The party does everything to ensure that there will be no contest. Then category number three is a must-change MP. Whatever the MP does, the party will say that, no, we will not fail you again. Then the middle belt is where we go to organize primary. That was what we did from 92 to 2000. And then when MPP came and introduced the electoral college system where anybody could contest, our people started comparing our system with theirs and demanding that theirs is more democratic, so we should all go that way. And that's how come we abandoned. It must also be said that the level of, party leadership, NDC was formed after a government. The government was in place before NDC was formed. So the type of authority that President Rawlings exercised over the party was different from what can be exercised now.
National Chairman of the Opposition NDC, Johnson Isiedun Ketia.
You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studio at Adabaka in Accra with me, Caleb Kuda, here with Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Still ahead, Citi FM and Citi TV's continuous campaign to bring relief to persons affected by the Akosombo Dam spillage sees a team visit Mankango in the Savannah region.
Citi Prime News updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Citi TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on channel 363. On GoTV, we're on channel 117, and on HD+, get us on channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search, but take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Citi TV. Citi TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box like the GoTV and HD+ boxes. Citi TV, it's your world. Imagine this. Your employees spend 1/3 of their lives at work. That's 13,000 days or 110,000 hours dedicated to their jobs. At Old Mutual, we don't just see the numbers, we see the faces and the dreams behind them. With our tailored group life insurance and pension plans, you can provide your employees with employee benefit. Call 0509 551 609 or email corporate services at oldmutual.com.gh. Old Mutual, do great things every day.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. The Member of Parliament for Ododo-Diodio, Nilante Vanderpoel, has revealed that members of Parliament are keener on retaining their seats than contributing to national issues in an impactful manner. Speaking on a City Breakfast show today on the dwindling quality in Ghana's Parliament, he blamed the development on the increasing attrition rate in Parliament.
The attrition rate in Parliament is too high. And as such, people do not really get the sort of experience they require to be able to advance the work of Parliament. One of the most frustrating moments as a member of Parliament is when we have orientation. We have 2 days, 3 days orientation for members of Parliament. We don't learn anything. Because somebody who was maybe, let me say, a teacher in some village has won an election, he's become member of Parliament. He comes in. And then we are taken to Kufuor or to Lagos, 2 days orientation. And we think we have built the person enough to be able to contribute meaningfully to the work in Parliament. No. No. So like Bernard said, Parliament has made a conscious effort to develop individuals who enter that house because there is so much to be done in that house. All of us in Parliament there, only thing we think about is our constituency. How do we survive our constituency? How do we sustain our seat? How do we retain our seat? How do we survive the next election? We don't talk national. We don't. If you can critically analyze the person who came to replace Osei Sibe and Osei Sibe's contribution to Parliament, you will see that Parliament has lost it. Parliament is worse for it. The nation is worse for it. All the investment we've made in Osei Sibe, he's gone with it. If he doesn't avail himself as a consultant to Parliament, he's gone with it. Parliament has lost it. Look, Badmin is succeeding as a speaker because of the lengthy experience he's had as a member of Parliament. If you look at his speakership, you will see some quality better than what we saw of other speakers who were not.
Nilante Vanderpoel also revealed that his decision not to return to Parliament in 2025 is a result of the failure of Parliament and political parties to take affirmative action to protect seasoned MPs and also train new MPs to make meaningful contributions.
Democracy is not just about choosing people. It's also about how do we add something to our national discourse. So, because we said we must look at all shades. So we just have to just bring somebody because it's the most popular to be. What have you asked yourself, what contribution is that person going to make? And also let me take, for example, Rwanda. People have voted for, but they don't represent constituencies in Parliament. So when it's about water, all the MPs think about how do we provide water for the whole country and not for my constituency or your constituency. You see how they shape it? They are practicing democracy, but they've tuned their democracy to suit their development agenda and development, let me say, paradigm. Parties, we on our own, the party should have a structure. For example, let me just give you an example. Why couldn't MPP say that? Or you mentioned Aruna Idrisu. Our parliamentary primary, somebody wanted to contest Aruna Idrisu. So the party will sit down and allow somebody to just come, assuming the person has money, whether it is drug money, whether it is galamsey money, come, and then take out Aruna Idrisu, for example. And we'll be happy with it. It's serious. That's why some of us have become too frustrated with the system, and we think we are not fit for purpose anymore in there because the frustration become too many, and you just want to.
So are you leaving Parliament because you are frustrated?
I am.
Nilante Vanderpoel is a member of Parliament for Ododo-Diodio.
The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers Ghana (COPEC) is raising serious concerns over complaints from gasoline users nationwide about suspected bad fuel from various oil marketing companies. Consumers have reported issues like delayed acceleration, gear changes, jerking and misfiring of plugs leading to unplanned maintenance. While COPEC appreciates the National Petroleum Authority's effort to investigate the issue, they're urging a speedy resolution by the end of the week. COPEC suggests the problem may be due to a potential high manganese count in fuel and advises the public to consider additives before resorting to costly plugs changes. It warned that legal action against the NPA may be imminent if the issue isn't promptly addressed.
We have what.
Well, Howard, the NPA has been responding to COPEC's arguments, and they are insisting that all fuels in the country comply with the national standards for fuel specifications established by the Ghana Standards Authority. The NPA, in a statement, refutes the existence of poor quality fuel in the country, emphasizing that the Ghana Motor Gasoline Standard permits certain trace metals such as manganese up to 18 milligrams per liter. Here's Communications Manager for the National Petroleum Authority, Mohammed Abdul Kudus, addressing these issues in an interview with Citi News.
We decided to also institute an investigation to ascertain the real issues behind the complaints. What we have realized is that a certain consignment that came into the country had a higher concentration of manganese than the usual one that we've been consuming over a period of time. Higher in the sense that what we've been consuming normally is between 6 and 8 milligram per liter. But the standard authority has actually pegged it at 18. So you can bring a fuel that is 0 manganese, but not more than 18 milligram per liter. That fuel, when it came, we realized that some vehicles, modern vehicles, that had a certain tolerable level, not up to 18, who consumed the fuel started to register a certain problem with their movement and largely related to the plugs. It is not because these fuels were bad. So what it means is that a particular vehicle could consume same fuel, would not have a problem.
Mohammed Abdul Kudus is Communications Manager of the National Petroleum Authority, NPA.
The Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dr. Mohammed Awal, has stated that his ministry has not abandoned its plans to construct the Boti Falls Road in the Yulokrobo municipality of the Eastern Region, despite a promise made by the minister during a visit to the site in July 2021. The road has not seen any improvement. Dr. Awal acknowledged the importance of the Boti Falls site to tourism and attributed the delay to lack of funding. He assured that efforts are ongoing to secure the necessary funds for the road construction.
We have what we call with the Ministry of Roads and Highways, what we call the tourism routes. But you see, we don't have money. There's every community wants roads. Every community in this country wants roads. And you know how expensive the roads are. We've not abandoned that. We are working systematically to get every road fixed. It will take us time. So what we're saying, every year, Ministry of Roads is giving us what we call tourism routes, about 50 kilometers, because there's no money, to fix to the tourism sites. So we're doing for key tourist attractions. So that of Boti Falls would come. I was told it was going to happen. So when I go back to Accra, I'm going to find out from the Ministry of Roads and Highways. But again, we'll highlight it. What we said, we still stand by it. We would fix that road, because Boti Falls is very important for tourist attraction, not only in Eastern region, but in Ghana as a whole. So it's not something out of the radar. It's within our radar, and we'll fix it.
Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Dr. Mohammed Awal.
Now, Citi FM, Citi TV has provided support to Mankango in the Salaga South municipality in the Savannah region by offering relief items to flood victims. This assistance comes in response to an appeal from the Member of Parliament for Salaga South, Hajia Zuwaira Mohammed Ibrahima, following the displacement of over 4,000 people due to heavy rains and the spillage of the Akosombo Dam. The donated items include rice, beans, oil, sugar, maize, roofing sheets, Wellington boots, machetes, torchlights, and more. Our Northern Regional Correspondent Shawana Yusuf is on the grounds to bring us more details. Hello, Shawana. Good afternoon to you. If you can hear me, how did the people receive the items from the team Citi? Hello, Shawana. we've lost Shawana. We'll try to rework the lines and bring you that exciting story of relief from Salaga South.
Now, speaking of reliefs, Caleb, over 300 residents of Ago Bledokwi. Thank you. In the Anloga district of the Volta region and its adjoining communities were recipients of a medical outreach organized by Citi TV and Citi FM in collaboration with Nabita Hospital in Tema. Apart from receiving medications, the residents also received referrals to other nearby hospitals based on their individual health conditions. Citi News' Fred Duho has more details in the following reports.
From the Nabita Hospital here in Tema, and you see a team of medical experts, doctors, pharmacists, and many others you can think of basically joining our team in that collaboration with Citi FM and Citi TV on a medical outreach. And this is the third leg of our relief efforts to the lower Volta victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage. Covered almost more than 3 kilometers already from the main road. And we do not know how long it is, but we are still anticipating to get to our destination. The truck that is carting the medical supplies can't move beyond this point into the community, so it is now more like a communal labor. You see the residents here at Ago Bledokwi, all of them joining hands with the volunteers. You see OJ right there, and a number of them carrying everything on their heads, their hands, and this is a communal labor, trying as much as possible to move all the supplies to the community and to attend to the people here at Agobledokwi. Children are involved, women with babies are equally playing a role, the men are equally joining hands, and there you have it. That is the beauty of what the Citi FM relief support, the medical outreach is all about. All of them have been in anticipation of this day and to accept this relief support. The medical director for the Anglo district, who is equally on the grounds to coordinate affairs, is here with us and also ensuring that things go well. And there it is where they carry things on their heads and they move in their numbers largely. Now we have the volunteers coming in their numbers. All of them here, you have them coming with the sachet water and other things that would make their stay in the community throughout the day a success. Now all of them are playing a role. No one is left behind. And this is what it means when we say we want to extend support to affected victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage. Now we see a number of water bodies surrounding this community, and that is the extent of devastation. When the water came into their community, we see a number of people living in thatched houses and a whole lot. And this is a community that is deprived of basic amenities, and a whole lot is lacking in this community. Through your help today, you will be able to get access to the very important medical supplies as it is with the mission today. Now, we are still going into the community. We're walking and advancing closer to where we need to go set up a makeshift medical center.
Thank you for receiving us. Yeah. So we are here. We are a bit late. We are actually late. So we don't want to waste time. We just want to set up and start. That's fine. So we will start with the registration desk over there. Then we'll have the lab vital checks. And then we are adding one more table for the doctors, prescribers area. And then we want to set up the pharmacy this week. Abale ngoto glena miavi yo kocho for we diva so de for the cardia no gbona jilao no clove bada kukwa makwa no gbona maka na clove jilao na clove tami diva miaza mon popo ya ada pene Citi FM Citi TV do fa pekpada nwalo alo ya domo lemi abe anglong to mena adakpano na jodi na mia kamia kata mi na mi dakpano.
So that is a message, very briefing, of course, being delivered by the director, and she actually told them about our mission in the community, and they received us with a very thunderous applause, and they are now going to take turn and then basically go through the process, first by registration and then checking their vitals, then proceeding to the malaria test, doing sugar test and other things.
For Agobledokwi, we have a projected population of 931. Though we know we may not be able to give render service to all those numbers today, but we are actually looking forward to a lot of the indigenes patronizing the services for today. For Azanu, we are looking at a total of 331 people for Azang. That's our projection for 2023. So that's how the population for the two communities look like.
Do they have clinics or CHIPS compound in these two communities?
Okay, no. These two main communities have no CHIPS compound.
What does it mean for you as the director and the people of these communities to receive this number of medical experts to come and administer healthcare to your people?
Let me first say I'm overwhelmed in the sense that looking at the number of expertise Citi TV, Citi FM team has come around with to help us or support us offer these healthcare services. It's going a long way to impact the health outcomes of the people of these two communities in the sense that when we talk of healthcare, seeking healthcare, it becomes a challenge because first, you look at the distance, and then secondly, you look at the purchasing power of the individuals to access healthcare. If the medical professionals that we have on the field today are able to consult very well, they come out with their problems, and they are well diagnosed, and medications are given out. In addition to counseling, I think that is going to be a very good thing for the people of Agobledokwi and then Azan.
That's the acting director of the Anglo-Logan District Health Directorate, and she's been telling us that she's overwhelmed by the number of volunteers that have come in so far, and to the Citi family and listeners and viewers who have contributed their support to these efforts. They are really grateful. He's gone through the process and now taking time to receive medication. So the communication barrier is also another thing. Some of the outreach people do not really understand the Ewe language. So let's hear what is going on. So he is generally blessing the medical outreach team for their good work. Toby, like a nuku kono.
Meko chicken and bazana. Your full of finaco.
The kakwevam.
Your crew. Playing your perfect perfume.
And the kind of one I feel nanumo jojom de jo.
Who agrodok mona. Agrodo. Ikmona. That one I can't come at Musapom Maywago.
Kayinye jimamle na yide koji afi egbamieva.
Ma da compagnie no ba jinwe tokata no ga dako. Wechi oro ko ga dako.
Ta mi vagbo mi konu ovi no plachi ke ploto wal nkine pochong.
Ma pojizo. Ba ma wor fa dorum. Ba fibe do falipi. Apo nyala ma se bonam. Enye du kezo jinam. Ba da ko ma ba de fi avana ba.
So he generally blessing the Citi FM and Citi TV crew and management as well as the volunteers for coming through for him, because the very last time he went to the hospital, Komboni Hospital to be precise, don't forget that place was also flooded by the floodwaters. That was about 3 months ago. So coming to his doorstep with the right medication for his condition, he's so happy, and he's thanking God first and the medical outreach team for coming to his rescue, and he's so happy with the situation. Now, a number of people are still waiting patiently to take turn and have their this. Now, we are talking about counseling as well. So they are offering counseling to some of the residents here, and depending on your situation, consultation is available, counseling session is available, and a number of things you can think of are equally being provided.
That was my colleague Fred Duho there. Now let's move over to Salaga South, where my colleague Shawana Yusuf joins us after a team from Citi FM and Citi TV provided support to Mankango. We've been giving them relief support, right? Hi, Shawana, what can you tell us? Hello, Shawana. If you could reposition yourself, I'd appreciate it.
Okay, is it better?
Much better. Let's try again.
Okay, so today we were at Congo a few minutes ago to donate items to victims of flood. Close to 5,000 people were actually affected by this flooding in the cities, and others actually losing their homes to flood. As in, they have all the structures down because water has submerged the whole place, and then the buildings have all come down to the floor. So, speaking to some of the affected victims, they indicate that they have no option than to go and pitch in other people's homes because they don't have homes to go back to. Others don't have a place to even sleep in the open. So far as the rains are not coming now, they are so excited about the support Citi TV, Citi FM has brought to them today. So today we went there to donate items ranging from roofing sheets, cooking oil, rice, beans, maize. We also had machetes, torchlights, all as part of the Citi FM, Citi TV relief and support given to flood victims in various areas. So not just in the Volta region, I mean, people of Salaga in the Savannah region also benefited from this kind of gesture. We also got the Honorable Member of Parliament for the area, Zuera Mohammed Ibrahima, who also came with us to actually donate these items to the affected victims.
Thank you very much, Shawana Yusuf. She's my colleague in the Northern region. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studio in Adabaka here in Accra. Still ahead, Black Stars head coach to address the press ahead of a crucial game against Madagascar. Stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Throughout all life-changing moments such as graduations, weddings, funerals, birthdays, ATL is there to ensure you're never out of style. When you think fabric, think ATL. Log on to atlfabrics.com. Order and buy your favorite ATL fabric. You can also visit our shop at number 40 Kwame Nkrumah Avenue, opposite the Swansea Shopping Arcade at Accra Central. Also available in leading fabric dealer shops in Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast. ATL, bringing fabric to life.
Dream Africa is offering the opportunity to dream, is valuing the talents of our continent and supporting its development.
Dream Africa is spreading its authenticity, encouraging its passions, and the pursuit of its ambitions around the world.
Meet Morocco is embodying the best of Morocco and revealing the country's hospitality and openness to the world.
Meet Morocco is taking advantage of an ideal location that connects Africa to the world.
Dream Africa, Meet Morocco is Royal Air Morocco's new commitment to put our country and our continent on the path of progress.
Royal Air Maroc, Dream Africa, Meet Morocco.
Are you ready to party? We're lighting up the city on the 24th of December 2023 with the biggest all-white outdoor party, Situation 2023. It's time to unwind as the year draws to a close with a mix of delicious cocktails, good food, and the best DJs to give you back-to-back hits to keep you on your feet amid some incredible performances by the Chin Chin Band and not your regular DJ Mingo. The dynamic duo Keche, the crooner Aquabua, the rap doctor Ochiame Kwame, and the spirit-filled Perez music. Get ready to let it all down and party your stresses away on Christmas Eve at the Situation All White Outdoor Party. Date 24th December 2023. Venue La Palm Royal Beach Hotel. Time 8 p.m. Dress code, it's an all white affair. Call 0205 973 973 or 0558 973 973 for your table bookings and seats. Make reservations now and come have an unrivaled experience with the most extraordinary party to end all parties this Christmas Eve. The Situation All White Outdoor Party 2023 is powered by Citi TV with support from Citi FM.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the Ghana Black Stars are back in action tomorrow, this time in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers against Madagascar at the Babayara Sports Stadium in Kumasi. Citi FM will, of course, bring listeners live commentary of the game as well as pre- and post-match analysis. Joining me with more details is Edwin Kwao-Kofi from the Citi Sports Desk. Hi, Edwin.
Hello, Caleb.
Nice. Now, tell us about tomorrow's game and why it's important to not just the Black Stars team, but the head coach as well, Chris Hughton.
Well, to understand why it's important for the Black Stars, we need to look at the structure of the qualifiers. You know, FIFA has increased the number of teams from Africa that can make it to the World Cup. So it used to be 6 guaranteed. Now we have 9 guaranteed. Wow. So there are 9 groups in these qualifiers. Ghana is in Group I,
right,
with other teams including Mali, Comoros, Chad, Central African Republic, and of course our opponents tomorrow, Madagascar. The group winners qualify automatically. Then there's a chance for the best runner-ups to also qualify via playoffs. But of course, we aren't guaranteed to have a good performance. So we need to get as many points as possible, which is why beating Madagascar tomorrow is very important for the team. For Chris Hughton, his tenure has come under criticism because of the performances of the national team. Although he's not been defeated in any of his competitive games, but in the last 2 friendlies against the Mexico and the USA, they lost really badly with very bad performances. There were even reports that he would be sacked. Fortunately for him, he's been retained, but he needs a win tomorrow to bring back confidence in his abilities as manager.
Well, we come against Madagascar tomorrow. Is that a team to be worried about?
Well, the interesting thing is Madagascar have never made it to the World Cup. Okay. They had never made it to AFCON until 2019, where they reached the quarterfinals. Right. They are ranked 103rd in the world, 23rd in Africa. So off the page, it doesn't scream a team that we should be worried about. In fact, in the AFCON qualifiers, we beat them 3-0 in Cape Coast.